Be with us this morning, open our hearts and our minds as we make important decisions. We want only what is best for our students. We pray in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Hogan, have there been any changes to the agenda?
Yes, ma'am. The number 6 safety patrol trip, we're going to postpone that to a later board agenda.
Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody this morning. I love seeing these beautiful, happy faces this morning. So welcome to the meeting. Champion faces.
I love the shirts. I love the
And I will turn it over to Madam Superintendent. Thank you, Madam Chair. Do you have a note on the agenda being changed? Do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Madam Chair. What we have this morning, I'm sure all of you in the back know, but for the recording for the public, so you know, everyone in the public will see this as well. We are very excited to have the Williston girls basketball state champions here today. Also, they wouldn't be where they are, I know, their talent, of course, but also the coaches that stand behind them. And through thick and thin, hard work always pays off. And I know that the coaches pushed you as well. And you have done a great, great job. So if the coaches and Mrs. Westfall, any of the coaches want to come up, any of you girls, I know there's some other announcements. I think I read late last night, that there might be another announcement that we have to make with one of the girls here today. So Coach, if you want to come up and say a few words about your team, that would be wonderful.
Put you on the spot.
Thank you guys for having us here today. I want to thank the county for allowing the older young man to come back and rekindle his love for the sport and also for teaching. My first day at a training, I knew this county was different. I've been to a lot of trainings in my time, and I've been here a long time. That it showed me that hope was here. Ms. Taylor, I wanted to also say that those guys did a wonderful job of firing me back up about teaching itself. These young ladies here fired me up about coaching. We came a long ways in our 2 years. We had our struggles, but they persevered and became champions, not only on the court, but off the court. And coming in off the court, I felt we had a lot of work to do. And I asked a lot from these young ladies, academically, behaviorally, and they responded. So, not only are they state champions, but they're champions in the classroom and on campus, and that means more to me than anything. Thank you.
Yes, Mrs. Westfall?
Y'all know I don't like microphones. My portable microphone, the battery's been on right here. I just want to say too, I'm gonna recognize Coach Powers, and if all of his coaches would stand real quick. How many we got here, coaches? There they
Yes.
are. Coach Powers has received a few extra awards. He is Coach of the Year for rural districts, I believe. He got Coach of the Year. Ashley Young. Where's Ashley? I'm just doing that
Right
Come on,
there.
girls, stand up. She got Player of Rural Districts of the Year. And they're just all champions. So if y'all don't mind, if y'all could each stand and say your names, so they know who you are. I know they love it. They do love this. Come on, stand and just say what you do. There you go.
Start.
I'm Chris Solomon, and I'm for the Clark State Champion.
I'm Ashley Young, and I'm whatever my coach wants me to be.
I'm Trey Solomon, and I'm a shooting guard. I'm Caleb Brown, and I play everywhere. I'm Lucy Gaston, I'm a guard. I'm Billy Cribs, and I'm a forward. I'm Janice Van, I'm a guard. I'm Mariah Dallas, and I'm a forward too. I'm Dakota Smith, and I'm I'm Samara Jordan, I'm a forward. I'm Kyla McFan, I'm a center. Tiana Wilson, I'm a forward.
I'm Taylor Eisen, I'm a guard.
I'm Lily Rowan, and I'm the
Also, I think it would be good, and she is an eloquent speaker, but I'm gonna invite Ashley Young to come up and just talk about the team and their journey real quick, give just 1 minute, and I also wanna give her a big congrats, she just got her scholarship at Daytona State College.
First I'd like to say thank you guys for inviting us here to share this moment with you guys. I'm thankful, on behalf of me and my team, we're thankful for all the prayers and support that you guys gave us on our journey. Even though we had some ups and downs in our team, but we came together and figured out so we could put this thing on our back and become state champions. We're down in history.
I will bring up a memory from last year that I have, and I think a few of you remember also, I had met 3 or 4 of you in Mr. Boggs's class during cooking. And, you know, I just kind of sat there and struck up a conversation and said, so do you play any sports? Yeah, basketball. Just matter of fact, yeah, basketball. Okay, great. I'll see you on the court at some games. Well, you should have bragged on yourself some more in the team, because it wasn't just basketball. You are masterful at basketball. And that state championship game, I will tell you, sometimes my husband comes with me, but that game he did, and he was like, oh my gosh, did you see that? Oh my gosh, did you see that move? I'm like, yes, I saw it. I'm watching the same game you are. But I had to share that, because really meeting you like that in the class, and you're just so nonchalant, but you're amazing. So always, you know what? You're that good, brag on yourselves, because you deserve it, and you should always keep that in your minds. So even when you look in the mirror, you're that good. So you'll all go very, very far. Yes, I would love if
You want them to stand behind you, or you want to come?
yeah, either way, behind all of us or in front. That would be great.
What are you gonna, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
And
stay
the
down.
coaches. And the coaches.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna do.
And the coaches.
Aldo, get the vote.
Hey, no bunny ears there. No bunny ears.
Perfect. These guys get up in here. They're just hanger-ons like that.
Can you get us all in?
If you don't make the bunny ears, I'll be upset.
Can we do one crazy? Because I said I would do bunny ears, but
This is your funny moment, go.
Do it. It's gonna be Facebook famous. Hey, are y'all the first girls, I know in Williston, but in the county, first girls basketball team state champion in the county? That's awesome.
And you guys are welcome to flip out if you want, so you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting.
The rest of it's boring.
Yeah.
Thank y'all,
for
appreciate
being
it.
here.
Hey, Coach, I would like to let you know something. We have a lot of kids come in here. Y'all look professional, y'all sound professional, you've done a great job. Yeah, good job.
Thank you, Coach
Proud to
Powers.
see y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
Y'all hold that as proud as that state title. Your presence is amazing. Thank y'all.
Dr. Miller.
See you later.
Bye, Mr. Weeks.
Me
You too. Thank you for coming.
You gotta say it, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
My husband would agree. He graduated from Auburn.
Amen.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Ms. Boyle, next up are Chiefland Literacy Initiatives.
Mrs. Warren and Dr. Weber.
I don't even have to do that, do I? Okay, thank you. My name is Bonnie Warren. I'm the reading coach at Chiefland Elementary. And I just have a short presentation of some things that we added to our structure at our school this year. Before we get started, it is not very long, but before we get started, just a little background. We are the largest elementary school, as you all know, in the district. Dr. Weber and I sat down before school started and looking at data and brainstorming and what can we do different that will not add on to the teachers. The big deal was we didn't want to add any more burden to the teachers, but we wanted to support them and help increase our scores and increase our reading achievement across the school. So we came up with a few ideas, and that's what I'm going to present to you today. And we'll see if my clicker works or if I need my little helper over here. Oh, yeah, it works.
We got rolling.
So we started out the beginning of the year with a fundraiser, actually, and it was called Book Blast. It was a fundraiser, though, for the students. All funds went to the students. So the students were able to add family members or friends, and those people were able to purchase books for the students. And then we had one huge day where everyone in the school received their books that were purchased for them, and they all opened them at the same time. Of course, there's always those students, high poverty, that they have no one to buy them books. So in this program, every student in the school from pre-K to 5 got a free book, very nice books, and they were all open them at the same time and were able to read and go through their packages. They kind of got it like a Christmas present. And we have a few pictures of them with their books and their excitement. Of course, some of them got more than others, depending on how many were sold, but all of the funds went to those individual kids, and they were able to receive their books. So we tried to start off the year with some excitement about reading, no excuse not to have a book. And then we added some incentives. So as you all probably know, Beanstack is our method of recording minutes. It's also our method of keeping track of teacher libraries, what they have in their libraries. And so we came up with a little award. Each 9 weeks, every grade, a winner from each grade level received popcorn and extra recess from me. So I took their kids out for about 20 minutes, and the teacher's like, I don't have to go. No, this is your time. You get 20 minutes. Really? Yes. So we added that incentive, and I just threw some data in here. Last year, we logged 79,491 minutes with only 13% participation. Adding this incentive, we had 458,986 minutes logged into Beanstack with 65% participation.
Congratulations.
We're really excited. And now we've got to keep it up because the teachers are in major competition. So I have just a few pictures of Beanstack and popcorn. The kids just absolutely had a blast, loved having just an extra 20 minutes of free time. And then the next thing that we incorporated, we were trying to figure out how can we improve our fluency specifically from K to 2, because if they don't have it by 2nd grade, we're behind for the rest of their academics. So we specifically targeted sight words for fluency and reading passages. And how can we increase that, again, without adding on to the teachers? So what we did was we gave all the K through 2 students sight word lists from iReady, so they're all using the same grade level list, in addition to what they were already doing. So these were sight words that they were asked to practice if they wanted to, in addition to what the teachers were asking them to practice. Some of them were the same, but for the most part it was about 60 words on a page. And so around once a month, I went around to every class and listened to the kids read their sight words. First and second grade also implemented using fluency binders. So they all had their fluency binders with a fluency passage on their grade level or on their level, wherever they were reading. So the same thing, I'd go around and listen to them real quick, 1 minute, just read to me. And whenever they achieved their goal, they had to read at least 90% accuracy. They got a bakery, not just a cookie, but a bakery cookie from me. So in order to implement that, it got kind of big because we have a lot of students. And so our volunteers were also helping us. We had volunteers not just from the community, but also from the high school that came over, and I have some photos of them too. But they would come and the kids just went to them with their binders, listened to them read, practiced their reading. These are some pictures of the students with their binders. I think this is first grade, I'm pretty sure, first and second. They kept up with how many words per minute they were reading. They graphed their minutes. And they did this all year. So we kind of, once the teachers taught them how to do it, it was go with your partner, pull out your fluency. Is that my cheerleader Sam almost? So just some pictures of them practicing. And then when our volunteers came, they would bring their binders and listen to them, and then I could just bring them their cookie. So I got to be the one that gave them their reward. Here's some pictures of our volunteers, and I already apologized to her in person because our very own school board member did not get her picture taken. But Miss Lisa and Miss Linda came at least once or twice a week for a while, and they're still coming. We had our high school girls, we had some volunteers from the community, and I set up a schedule for them, when to come, because I was like, I want these kids to know who you are and when you're coming and get to know you as a person. And so then they started, where's Miss Linda, where's Miss Lisa? They didn't want me, they wanted them. And so that kind of helped, again, take it off the teachers and just give them some other support from the community. And so then they got their cookie from me, and these are some of the cookie pictures from kindergarten. Kindergarten says I need to dress up like a cookie next year, but I'm not sure that.
We can make that happen.
That's not good. Maybe they'll buy me a cookie costume, I don't know. And then here's some from first grade. I've got some data for you at the end, almost there. Second grade. I do want to bring out, we do have a second grade resource room. Our second grade resource room also participated, went through and listened to every single one of them either read their sight words or a passage to me at the end of the year. Some of them couldn't read anything when we started. And finally, here's our data. And so this is when we started for each grade level. We didn't get second grade going until later in the year because we needed to figure out where they were and what kind of passages they need and stuff. So at the bottom you can see in August we started out with 19 students in kindergarten and first grade that could read sight words on a kindergarten level from iReady. And that's out of 5 classes.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
that's where we're going, oh my goodness, this has got to work, this has got to work. And so pretty much every month, close to every month, I tried to get there every single month. And you can see the numbers increase. In October, we went from 19 to 51 students that could read their sight words. In December, we added a couple second grade classes, so there was a big jump, but it went up to 118 students. At the end of the year, in April, this month, including second grade, we had 193 students that know their grade level sight words and can read a grade level passage to me. Accurately.
That's great.
So, that's the end, that's our data. We're just praying hard for the next few days that we see it.
You'll see it.
So, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next on the,
Picture in front of the
Oh.
literacy.
I think we need a picture real quick in front of
In front
the
of
data.
The data, and maybe a couple of the, Linda and Lisa, do
Yeah.
you want to get up
Lisa
next to
and
them?
Linda, the L's.
The L's? The L's.
I was just saying to Ms.
You
Warren.
see, I'm already in the pictures.
As voluntary as well, like it was a voluntary program, so that doesn't really, show our kids that are fluent and can do their
Right.
sight words, but because this is something we wanted them to do outside of school with their parents and bring back,
Right.
we didn't have 100% participation with that happening, so, we are confident more than that are fluent.
Yeah, if I get a
because
cookie
we see-
costume, it'll be better next year.
We gotta work on it. That's right. We have
You
to-
want- Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have Mr. Gore with our safety report.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm just going to speak to you about our third quarter reporting for Safe Schools required to give a quarterly report. During that time, we've had 5 audits, and there's been 0 findings in all 5 audits.
Wow.
So excited about that, thankful for administrators, team members. I wish I could go into detail over the audits and what it's grown to. But it involves threat management, it involves school safety, it has really evolved into quite a deal. So, and some of those audits include state audits and local audits, which are done by myself, requirement that's also added. So just wanted to inform you of that. I also wanted to inform you, and I had the opportunity to speak to some of you, but it's just to make you aware of swatting that's going around the state. And if you're not familiar with what swatting is, it's where someone fakes an emergency call, whether it be from another country, whether it be a local swatting call, whatever it may be, and emergency personnel have to respond accordingly. So the increase in that over the last month in the state is enormous. A lot of local districts around us, they have even went so far as to swatting PDs and reporting stuff to police departments, which of course we all have to go through our protocols and procedures for safety of students and staff. So just wanted to make you aware of that. Any questions for me regarding that?
So we haven't had any.
We have not had any. There's been several neighboring districts that have. This happens every year. There's always, 4 or 5 to 10 swatting incidents throughout the state. It has increased a lot the last month or so. So just wanted to make you aware of it, kind of what's going on. We have done what we need to do as far as making sure staff's prepared for it, law enforcement's prepared for it, but we will, just wanted to educate you on something that is going on around us.
Is this some agency that's investigating?
Oh,
and-
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm sure they are. Sometimes there are local incidents that participate in that
Uh-huh.
swatting stuff, and it's an investigation, and they're dealt with. But as where those investigations have led, I have no
You said some's overseas, right? So some,
Well, I mean, they're
To
AI
originate.
generated voices on a lot of them, so they don't really know at this point. The ones I've had contact with, still, law enforcement's investigating it, so I
Right.
don't know
right, the details.
the details of that. So that's kind of
Unfortunate.
where we're at, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of it, just in
Thank
case it came up in our county.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Mr.
Adam.
Gore. Mr. Lot?
Good morning.
We have several policies that we had brought before you, a couple of meetings ago. We have had no public comments on these policies that I'm aware of. Really quick, I want to recap what we got here. A lot of these policies had to be changed because Bronson plays football in the Sunshine State Athletic Association and not the Florida High School Athletic Association. We had a policy previously, our interscholastic activities policy, which basically we had combined the extracurricular and the athletic policies into one policy. We now want to separate those because it'll be easier to update when they match the NEFAC policies. So when there's an update, and we know there's going to be updates in athletics, for example, because the legislature has now allowed us to charge homeschool kids additional fees up to $400 a piece that we didn't previously have that luxury of doing. So we know there are going to be updates, and this will make it easier for us to do that. And then the last policy really that we brought forward, we have vacation leave. The vacation leave policy was needed to change because we noticed that our current policy says that only a 12-month employee can get vacation leave, but the plan is going forward to have 11-month assistant principals. And it wouldn't be fair to them not to be able to get vacation leave, and so we need to change that policy. And then the last one was on transportation services, and that policy, there are two versions of the NEFAC policy. We have version 1, we want to go to version 2. And we added a paragraph at the end from the Sarasota policy, which will enable us greater flexibility in transporting students to games, and so that we don't have to miss a game because we don't have a driver available. And so that, in a nutshell, is all the policies and a recap. No public comments, so this time we ask you to adopt these policies.
The $400, does that include people that don't attend the school period, right? Like, can go to a private school, not just homeschool, correct?
Right.
Okay.
The new legislature, which we don't have that language yet.
Right.
But the way it's set up, a certain percentage of what it is up to $400. Majority of our sports will probably reach that threshold. Football will be one that probably costs more than $400 really, but they limit us to $400. When that language eventually makes its way through the whole process, I don't know if that one has to go to the state board for a rule to be made, but eventually it will work its way through the NEFAC attorneys who write the board policy, and then it will make its way to us, and then we'll just be able to update our current policy since it already matches the NEFAC policy.
Thank you. Motion.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lott. Madam Superintendent?
Thank you, Madam Chair. If you remember, at the last meeting, Mrs. Lake brought forth the 26-27 board meeting dates and the trim calendar dates and the trim process. Afterwards, we had some minor conflicts on the dates. So after she sat down and figured that out and then contacted each one of you individually, these are the revised dates. Just look them over briefly, make sure everything is accurate to your calendars. She is in her office. She apologized, but she's working on actually a presentation that she has to do. But if you do have any questions that I cannot answer right now, she is more than happy to come over here into the meeting. So just look those over, and then we would need another motion. Yes, please.
Do I hear a motion to approve the dates?
So moved.
Which is clarify which, there's the 3 attachments and just so.
The 3 attachments. Yes, you have it under A. So there's 3 attachments you can pull up.
And so the motion would be to adopt the dates listed in all 3 of the attachments. Okay.
Do I hear a motion to adopt the dates listed in all 3 attachments?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next on the agenda, Ms. Wade.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for putting me a little bit further on the agenda, not right after the kids. Appreciate that.
We heard some complaints, so we moved around.
Somebody does listen to me. So I come before you this morning, as you can see, we had, board approval on facility use fees back in '21. A lot of things have changed in 5 years. Salaries have increased, cost of goods have increased, and so we wanted to take a look at this again, because we feel like this, as you know, our, income stream
That's right.
is decreasing, and, in most cases, when we rent our facilities, we do not recoup the costs, especially
Right.
when it comes to electricity. The other thing was, I don't know why I had 2 forms, but I combined these to 1 form to make life easier, so there's that. So on the first page, if it approves today, I'll change the board approval date. I'm increasing the damage deposit to $300, currently it's $200. And when somebody rents a facility, we ask that they write a separate check for that, so that we can easily, if there's no damage, we just return the check to them. Very few times I've had to keep the deposit, and I've alerted the person that it happened, but, when it has happened, $200 didn't cover the damage. You know, like it was a stage, repair that needed to be done, equipment, things like that.
Right.
Honestly, $300, depending on what it is, may not cover it, but at least it's a little bit of something to try to get our costs back. So if anybody's renting our facility, they have to fill out this form. It goes, the school starts it, and then it comes here for approval. We have to have a certificate of insurance always, so that in case somebody gets hurt or something happens, the school board is not on the hook for it. It doesn't mean we won't be called in a lawsuit, but, hopefully our attorney will be able to get us out if I've done what I need to do. We do not allow smoking, alcohol, drugs, gambling, firearms, inflatables, and animals. So that has, I know, I take all the fun out of everything, don't I? So they have to adhere to this, and honestly, we have not had any issues, so it's been good. So then the, second page is what our fees are, and as you'll see on the current rate, and then what, I'm asking for approval to increase. Athletic fields with lights is very expensive. So it currently is $75 an hour, I'm requesting to increase it to $175 an hour. I did put a note at the bottom, if they're requesting Williston Middle High School fields, I'm asking for a $200 extra charge, because every time we flip on the lights at Williston Middle High School, I think it's almost $500. It's astronomical, as you know. Without lights, it's $100, so I just went up on half. Custodial fee currently is $25 an hour. With the increase of goods and supplies and salaries, $25 an hour was not sufficient to cover that cost. Most of the time, the groups that rent our facilities leave it in pretty good shape. We have had some issues, and so we address those as those come. Our gym and auditorium, I'm asking to increase that to $150, again, because of electricity costs for that. They can rent the cafeteria without the kitchen, and that's a cheaper cost. If they include the kitchen or like the serving line, we do have to increase that because we have to get a custodian or a kitchen manager or one of their staff to be there because of safety and the federal regulations of the cafeteria, so that's an extra cost there. If this happens in Chief on the lot, if they use the auditorium and we have the sound system there, if they're gonna use that, they have to pay for a school board employee to run that equipment. We've had problems in the past where the group came in and they messed it all up, and we had to redo the system, and, you know, at Chief Lebanon High, they have a strong theater program, and that is detrimental to their program and that doesn't work. So, anyway, those are my recommendations, but I'm open to questions or suggestions, and I can't say it next year, I won't be back asking for another increase, but we'll see what happens.
And this just apply, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
This just applies to like non-school, like if
Yes.
somebody's having a banquet, like the cheerleader banquet or whatever, this doesn't,
They
that's
don't-
an outside, they don't pay.
We don't charge in-house,
Right,
like, an FFA banquet.
right,
Baseball banquet, we're not charging
Okay,
them. Those
okay.
are all in-house. These are outside of the school board
okay.
facilities. The other thing is that, I want our schools, and I'm gonna reiterate this to them, is that the superintendent always has the ability to waive fees if she so chooses. That's not a school level decision, that is a superintendent decision, and so that is, we give everybody an estimate, but of course, you know, if the custodial staff go in there and the facility's a mess, it may, we may have to charge more, and that's, again, why that security deposit is important.
So Kaylee, the gym's probably what Devin was asking too. If the gym is being used by, say, like a volleyball coach for private lessons, will he have to pay or she have to
Yes.
pay the 75?
We have a board policy on, and I think I listed this at the top of the first page, is that it's against policy to allow the facilities to be used for commercial or personal gain.
Okay.
So now that, you know, we've had certain, so that's, I think at one of the facilities, we had somebody that was giving music lessons. That can't, obviously they're making money, that can't be done
Right.
on our facility.
But like if someone, like a Little League football used the football field,
That's fine,
that's okay, because I
yeah.
mean, I know there's a fee for playing like in the league, but it's not really a money-making kind of thing.
Right, that's basically a nonprofit
That's right, okay.
organization that serves our students. There is a state statute, we can't deny youth leagues or certain organizations, the ability to use our facilities, so we always have to remember that.
Okay.
The youth leagues are, really good, we have a good working relationship, we've taken over the past few years and worked really hard to build a good relationship with them. We don't always charge them, we will get a deposit, in case the facility was left with a lot of trash and our custodians had to go out there. Always have to get a certificate of insurance. That, no matter what, that is always. If there's a group that doesn't have a certificate of insurance, they can purchase insurance through NEFAX, through our risk management program, and they just pay that, and then we get the copy of the certificate. Depending on the, like, we've had, families that need to use the cafeteria for a funeral reception or things like that, so, they're not gonna have a certificate of insurance, they can go purchase one. It's usually about $150 to $200 depending on the event.
So, I'll be the jerk that asks this question.
Go right
And
ahead.
go with it. And you kind of talked about it, because this is really, I was going to ask about it, and I see it scratched out on the new form where school facilities may be used by local municipalities, the education foundation, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, all that, and you scratched that out.
I did because that got very confusing, because really the superintendent has authority anyway, she can make that decision. So I had a group, I've had a group a few times, they're like, well, we support the Boy Scouts, that's not the same. And so
Right.
it always kept getting thrown back in my face, I'm like, I'm just gonna take that out of there, and then the superintendent has a decision to waive that fee.
Right,
And
and
what-
I think my question was, there are still costs associated with it regardless of what the thing is. I'm not a guy that's against nonprofits, but
You're right.
Yeah,
it
there's
still
still
costs
a
$500
cost,
turning
that's
lights on.
right.
I don't care what you are.
Yeah.
I mean, and not trying to be that guy, but somebody's gotta be that guy.
Well, we have to start looking at everything.
Right.
Right.
And this is one thing, I mean, obviously, we're not gonna make any money off of
Right.
these,
No.
we're not, But if we can just make a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. Or break even.
Yeah. We're not
Or break even, don't cost you money.
That's right.
Yeah, there's still overhead that has to be covered. It's-
Exactly.
I'm not trying to make a profit, I'm trying to go,
Right.
it still costs the $100 for those sprinklers or whatever, you know, whatever we're doing.
Or the AC in the summertime,
Yeah,
you know, we have we usually put them on a certain level, you know, when there's no staff. Well, when you have a facility or use, then we have to come in, we turn the AC down, and then when it doesn't get turned back up, and, you know, all the things.
Yeah.
I think we're also mindful when accidents happen, so things break, but I think we take that into account. And if, you know, Breezy always says, if there's something that he can fix that's minimal, we're gonna be gracious enough and give the deposit back, and Breezy can fix it. You know,
That's right.
simple things like that, but accidents do happen.
Yeah, even
We
the new
are-
rates are very fair.
I think
mean,
they're
anybody who
very
go
fair.
around,
Right.
you know, rent any for woman's club or facility or all that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not to gouge anybody. We understand we're part of the community and we're trying to help out, but at the same time, we can't do it at a loss to
Exactly.
us.
And right now, we're working at a loss.
That's
on
right.
those things.
so you need a motion from us?
Yes, and approval.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kaylee. And next on the agenda, Ms. Anderson.
Good morning. So in a previous board meeting, I brought final recommendations for world languages, where world language publishing was voted on, and it already has been approved by the FLDOE state. So now I am bringing up for final approval of our instructional materials implementation plan, where it highlights the courses that will be utilized in this curriculum, our adoption timeline process, as well as how we're going to go ahead and push through with any type of PL, professional learning, and on forward. Are there any questions?
Questions? Excuse me. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Anderson. And Madam Superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next thing on your agenda, and I know you'll remember this from last year, is the 26-27 FSBA Advocacy Committee Representative. So we have to take a vote on that this year, as if there's any nominations and who you would like to represent us at FSBA, and an alternate.
I did the year before and you did last year.
Tag.
Yeah, exactly.
You're it.
I think Ms. Campbell would be great.
She was the alternate.
She was
last
the
year.
alternate.
Yeah, move right up the
Okay.
ranks.
I nominate Ms. Campbell.
I second.
I'm for that.
Okay.
If
Do
if
we have
you
an
want it, if
alternate?
you'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'll do the alternate.
Okay, and Mr. Whitehurst is the alternate.
I mean, I guess I gotta be nominated.
I nominate Mr. Whitehurst as the alternate.
A second on that.
Do we have a second on the nomination?
You don't have to have a second.
Okay. We need to vote on
I
that.
move
Do we?
nominations close cease.
Okay.
We need a second on that.
Second.
Okay. Now is that it? So we don't need to,
You can vote on
we need to vote.
To adopt.
Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Congratulations, Ms. Campbell and Mr. Whitehurst.
Thank you.
Now is the time for public comment. Seeing none, we'll move on to public comments regarding the school start times. Do we have any public comment regarding school start times? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Jack?
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I know everyone's had a chance to look over the consent agenda. Mr. Asbell, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am, I'm good.
Ms. Campbell?
No questions.
Ms. Baxter?
No questions.
Mr. Whitehurst?
Miss Lewis certainly was sad to see that, but certainly her years, 2001, 25 years she's given to this school board, and certainly is going to be missed, and appreciate all you do, and certainly I know I'll see you around. So,
Yeah,
certainly,
see you around.
you've done a lot. You've done a lot of kids, and are done great things because of you. I appreciate you. That's all
Same.
I have.
I want to echo all of that also. That was my comment. We will miss you. You've been such an asset to the district. I know you're in a crossroads of life with your daughter graduating and have an opportunity you can't pass up, but Melissa and I go way back. She caught the bouquet at my wedding. So we will miss you very much, Miss Lewis. And do I have a motion to approve consent and finance agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Madam Superintendent?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I can't say much, but I want to say something quickly to all of you. Unfortunately, we had to deal with a situation at one of our schools, and it still is an open investigation. But I know there have been reports already out there on news channels and on social media, all of that. But I wanted to speak to that for a moment and let you know that sometimes verbiage by others can be a little off, or words that are written in an article can be a little off. We will do whatever it takes to protect our children, and I know all of you sitting here feel that as well. I also want to let you know that any employee that comes through Lea County School Board system, and we've talked about it at the workshops with fingerprinting, so you are up to speed on that process. If you want to change it, if not, we're working on that. But please know that these employees are vetted. It's not taken lightly. Everything is looked at, even if it's something that doesn't come down through the clearinghouse as a warning. There are other areas, and I know Mrs. Wade has definitely discussed those over the years with you, but I want you to be assured that everything is taken into account before they sign on the dotted line and we put them in front of our children. And personally, under my watch, I will always bring something to every school board member if it's questionable. And Mrs. Wade will always bring something to me and or the team if it's questionable. And you will know firsthand. So that's all I can say, but I thought it was a good day to say that. And we'll get through it. And we will pray for everybody that's involved as well. But I just wanted to put that out there. Sorry I had to leave with a little bit of sincere message, but I will immediately echo everyone's feelings about Mrs. Lewis. And I did reiterate to her that crossroads take place all the time, and if that crossroad doesn't work out, that this door will always be open. And she has done a tremendous amount for the students and this community, and she will be missed, extremely missed. So I just wanted to say that as well. You're welcome. A couple highlights. I know Mrs. Tanya, I talked to her, and the career fair at Central Florida. There were a few that could make it, and that was a success, right? How many different vendors were present for you?
About 200 students attend. We did an apprenticeship panel with different business partners that send students through apprentice. We had about 20 businesses, and then we had an additional 15 business leaders lead roundtable discussions. So it was a really, really awesome event.
And there was no smoke.
No, that's right.
So she didn't have to move anything inside, right? So I wanted to mention that. I also know that a couple schools in our district that kind of moved forward and jumped ahead with Teacher Appreciation Week. So some are celebrating it this week, and then the following week, they're celebrating that, so all our teachers. And a big day today, we want to appreciate all our bus drivers, right, Mr. Wayne? So today is specifically appreciation for our bus drivers. I don't know, if you see them, maybe honk, wave.
Just don't
Be
pass.
careful.
Just
Yeah.
don't take off the school arm bus.
Right.
But they do a lot. And I've said this at some of the first of the year trainings that you have. Mr. Wayne invites me, and it's nice to see all of them in one area, but where would we be without them? You know, they see our kids first thing in the morning, and at the end of the day, they probably see things before we do at the school level, if they're having a bad day or a good day, and then they take their time and sometimes get home at 1 o'clock in the morning after athletic events. So, it's not easy to drive a bus and have your CDL and be mindful of what's happening on the roadways due to all the people that are driving crazy out there. So it's a big deal, and it's a lot of work. So we appreciate bus drivers very much. And the literacy going on at CES, I think, is amazing. We had the Superintendent Reading Awards there on Monday, and you'll see the kindergartners just run up to the stage, and they really are putting a lot of effort. And thank you to Miss Lisa and Miss Linda for going to the school. I think I saw you going in the school Monday, or somebody was in and out after the awards. But it means a lot, and they're really working hard. And they said, well, we'll sit back and maybe we'll see some improvement. I have no doubt that they're going to see improvement from their efforts. It takes a village. The girls' basketball team, of course, you could tell they're very pleased, and they're very proud of themselves, and they should be. And quickly on the literacy, I know Miss Darby's not in the room today, but I want all of you to know that she has really taken a lot of time and energy and worked very closely with Miss Maria out there on the literacy program and looking at things down to standards and alignment with that program. And after talking to some of the admin at the school, Monday, Mrs. Warren said, Darby and I are like this. So they are all in, and they're looking at everything to see how we can improve each and every day. So I just wanted you to know that. And I'm looking forward to our Yankeetown school visit, so I will zip it and pass it on to you.
Thank you, Ms. Boyle.
You're welcome.
Mr. Asbell?
I don't have much to say other than I agree with all the good things said about Miss Lewis. Except if you leave me, you've left me, and we're done.
Oh, gosh.
I told you that on the phone. Unless it gives Mr. Lewis a better lifestyle, I'm on his side. And I also want to. I told the coach, and I reiterated, and that Williston basketball team impressed me. If you notice, that was a team. That's what's missing in a lot of things. There's. We have teams. A lot of players and participants forget that it takes 5 people on the court to win, not one. For years everybody thought Michael Jordan was going to be a flop because he was great, but the team couldn't get anywhere. It took putting the right combination together, and I was impressed with that. I'm also impressed with just their presence, and we have lots of kids that come in here from all our schools in athletics and FFA, and in band and all that stuff. And I think the bigger thing is this, and it's just my opinion, and everybody may disagree with me, and I'm cool if people disagree with me, because I'm a little out there. But these young ladies, the odds of them becoming professional basketball players are mighty slim. It could happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. Very slim. But the reality is every one of them is going to enter our world. They're going to have jobs. Every single one of them is going to be a parent. Every single one of them is going to be a leader in their church, in their whatever. They're going to do things. And I feel great knowing that that's the case because they are becoming prepared for that. Too often we focus on, hey, we got to win this competition, we got to do this. But the bigger thing is we're growing adults. We're taking children and turning them into functional adults. And those young ladies will be fantastic adults because of what they've learned right there. And you can just watch them. And it was an amazing thing. I'm proud of the state championship. But I'm really proud of who those young ladies are. That was amazing to me, in my opinion. And, it's rare that you see the Bronson guy brag on another school. But I'm impressed with those young ladies.
Mark it down.
Write that down. Well, I could go into Bronson winning the reading thing. I wasn't here last time, but my friend took care of that. So those young ladies impressed me, and that's all I got today.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Asbell.
y'all.
Ms. Campbell?
Well, I certainly agree with everything you said about the Williston team. And what impressed me the most was the comments that the coach made. And he said he challenged their play, their academics, and their behavior. And I think that was his recipe for success, that he did that. And it's a lesson to us that we can challenge our students at higher levels, and they will step up. And I congratulate them on a wonderful job. They're a great example for our other students. The Chief Lynn reading program, I loved being part of it. I loved going. I worked with kindergarten 2 mornings a week, 2 classes each day, and it was wonderful. I didn't know about the cookie thing when I first got there, and I would be working with this one student, and he'd say, "Do you have the cookie?" And I said, "What cookie?" "Did you bring the cookies?" I said, "No, but maybe I can bring them next time." I said, "I'll make sure you get a cookie if you work with me." So I quickly got on to the idea that cookies were very important to them. So I used cookies to help get them to read. But it was as much a reward for me as it was for those students, because I was in my happy place working with them. And thank you to all the bus drivers. They're our sign to the whole community of Levy County Schools every morning. That's the first thing people see. There are our buses, there are our students, and they do a wonderful job, and I thank them for keeping our students safe. The Central Florida Career presentation was wonderful. I was so impressed with the roundtable discussions. The kids were engaged. They were hearing from people who really worked at these jobs and who were once in their shoes as students and how they got to the jobs. It was just a real experience for them, and I was very, very impressed, as I always am, with your presentations. Cedar Key School is working toward the end of the year, working hard. Went on some walking field trips, which were fun, and I've been watching them practice. I work there. I do go in there 2 days a week too, working with some students on interventions, and they're working hard. They're working very hard to get where they need to be. I know we're going to have some good outcome. Melissa, I want to thank you personally for all that you've done for Levy County. Me personally, you've taught me a lot. You taught an old dog a lot of new tricks, and I thank you for that. And I wish you well in whatever you do, but you certainly are going to be missed.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Ms. Baxter?
Well, Melissa knows when she called me, I was not happy to hear that news. I've always been so impressed with her professionalism and her work ethic. Wow, we're gonna miss you, and I wish you the best. Tanya, you're incredible. I was out of town and didn't make it to the expo, but thank you for all that you do. You go above and beyond, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And Joe, you know, your bus drivers do a good job, and like Linda said, they represent our schools. They're out there in the community, and people see them, and they do a great job, so we do appreciate them. Yes, the little CES literacy presentation, Linda and I have both enjoyed that. I did know about the cookies. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but
She's trying to make herself look like the better board member. I'm just saying.
But like she says, I think we've gotten more out of it than the kids. They're so glad to see us. I mean, you know, I think, you know, they seem to enjoy us coming, even if we don't have a cookie. But that was a good presentation that Bonnie did, and I'm like Cameron. That basketball team, they were definitely a team, and that coach is teaching them to be productive citizens. And they came in here. They were dressed very neatly. They were acting so respectful, and the one player, you know, didn't mind getting up to speak. So I'm impressed with them. Like you said, not just for the championship, but for their what else they're learning to become. So, and Chiefland High School, they're having their grad bash coming up this weekend, and they have their senior walk that they do every year on the 15th. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Baxter. Mr. Whiteley?
All right, I'll start with the basketball team. Like I said, I know Mr. Asbill and the rest, everybody else said a lot of stuff. I think it showed too what strong leadership does. Because I mean, obviously having kids as cheerleaders, I've watched the girls basketball team, and they struggle a little bit. And having a good coach, just like we saw when Coach Pruitt came to Wilson in football, he took a team that won one game and turned around and had an undefeated first season. You know, it shows that the kids, we have a lot of the kids there. You just have to push them and motivate them the right way, and that takes strong leadership to do that. And, you know, I know people get in there every day, and sometimes they don't think they're making a difference, but people are making a difference in the classrooms, on these fields and everything. And it really, you know, you just got to persevere. You know, you don't have a lot of negativity in life. You know, it's going to push you down, but you got to keep your head up and, you know, really push these kids, and, you know, they'll show you something. I think I've learned that, you know, even through my own, you know, just being believing in people. I say these kids on CES, you know, incentivizing them too, you know. They're doing it. I mean, saw that and, get some cookies out there. I mean, how much is cookies? Cookies are cheap, you know, really. But I mean, how important that was to them, and look at the gains they was able to get from something as simple as, you know, we'll give you a treat, give you 20 minutes on the playground. I mean, that's I mean, it's not free, but it's pretty close to it, you know, and what it can end up meaning these, you know, the kids down the road. I say how important. I say if you don't learn reading by second grade, what are you gonna do, you know? By the time you get down the road, you're never going to read, you know, or you're going to be struggling the whole rest of your life. So it's important to, you know, building foundations. I enjoyed the career fair. It was very organized. We participated as a company, but also got to go move around and see everything. And like I said, all the kids were very professional, you know, very polite, you know, engaging. So I appreciate you putting it on. And like I said, no smoke, and it was all good. Appreciate, obviously, we talked to bus drivers, you know, they are, you know, they're the ones getting up 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, getting these shifts, and like I said, the ones ending that today, you know, first in, last out kind of thing. And, you know, they are, like I say, on the roads. I mean, a lot of people don't go to schools. Everybody drives the roads, so they are a face of a lot of us in the county, and I appreciate the help you're making them represent us well. I appreciate Mr. Gore, you know, with the safety report, no findings. I mean, I've seen, you know, we haven't ever had a lot, but, you know, every time, and now 0. I mean, there's always there's something, and now it's just like everybody's dialed in and getting it right. So I appreciate it. And, only other thing I have is Williston plays, baseball in Marathon, Florida. I'm not sure how that happened in the first round game.
That is unreal.
I mean, to have to have a school come up with the money to travel to Marathon for 3 games,
Crazy.
that's got to change. Something,
Yeah.
something's broke there,
That's
because,
crazy.
yeah, I mean, between the private donations and there's everything to have to come up with that. Yeah, I mean, not a first round playoff game, that, yeah, that's frustrating, very frustrating, because like I said, you know, you got fundraisers and you're taking a whole year's worth of fundraisers and dumping it into one game, or one series. Yeah, you know, I don't know, something's got to change there, but I'll get off my soapbox, and that's all I got. Thank you.
I hate going last. Y'all covered it all. Everything everybody said, like Ms. Campbell said, I think it's amazing when you push kids, whether it's literacy or basketball, what they can do, and they'll rise to the occasion. And when you have someone like Coach Powers, who is not their friend, he's their coach, and they respect them, and I'm a big fan of sports. I think sports teaches leadership. I think later in life, when you're in a difficult situation and you're under pressure, you have that just muscle memory of how to react. So to see somebody really do it right, because we don't always have that. We have a lot of drama at times with different sports and coaches and parents, and as far as I know, there hasn't been anything, knock on wood, surrounding that program. And you have, I mean, Coach Atlan, who's a wonderful support with him too. So kudos to Coach Powers and Chief Lynn Elementary School. Miss Taylor, I sing your praises all the time. I hated missing it, the fair, but you're such an asset to our district, and we appreciate everything you do. You've done so much for us, and we appreciate it. And everyone in this room, our district office is just, you can't beat you guys. And the bus drivers, I mean, this is my 8th year, and the things that I've seen these bus drivers do as far as going through wrecks and coming to the hospital for the children, just CPR with kids, not dropping kids off because of a fishy-looking character at the house next door. I mean, they wear so many hats, and we appreciate everything that they do. As far as Yankeetown, they just had a successful field day, wrapping the school year up, and we are on our way to check it all out now. So if we have no further business, the meeting is adjourned.